Had a slight breakage with the drum. Ivers are down here cutting. Looks like they got a little bit left to go there. We got another, I don't know, it's a little patch on a farm that was wet. Or not, yeah, it was wet. It was green replants and everything. So we're gonna try and go back through and cut them on the way back to the farm. Got an auction tonight to go to. And yeah, so that's pretty well how it's going. That's it. Ain't nothing to it. We had like 3 inches of rain. It's wet. There's no line about that. It's wet. The next two fields that we got, there's 2 pretty good sized wet holes in them. And I'm not leaving Vincennes until I get them done, and then we're gonna go to Robinson. So yeah, long couple days ahead of us here, but we're working at it. But oh well. Pulling ahead behind us, like always. Just gallivanting. Well, on last night's adventure of What Else Can Alex Break, we had had a slight breakage with the drum. Where was it? It's on the other end, I think. As you can see there, we had a finger that went around and poked a bunch of holes in that. So we went ahead and replaced it. It needed replaced anyways. I mean, it's had a lot of rock dingage in there, but got a new one. So yeah, brand new one, nice and shiny. I can see myself in it. A little cold this morning, so we're in the shop, thankfully. But yeah, it is what it is. I'll take the blame for that one. That was my fault. So anyways, we got it. We're taking it out and put a new one in. And so a lot of our problem with this one, they have a bunch of these covers on them, like where there wasn't fingers at. Well, we noticed on that one, you know, there's none of them covers. Everywhere on there was just another one of these. So but we went ahead and we put all new fingers in it. Pretty well all new holders out here too. I mean, we've got a lot of stuff put in there new. Just got to bolt these back up, and then them 2 side panels that go on the back side of that head right there, we got to be put in too. Hopefully Adam or Ross will show back up here soon and we'll get it put back together, but it shouldn't take long. We've got the majority of the hard part done last night, so yeah. But anyways, is what it is. Just gotta move on to the next problem. Well, we got it pretty well put back together. A couple more panels to put on, and then that's tight. That's tight. I gotta put the panel on the inside of the head there, and then this thing should be good to go. I say should be because, well, it should be. So I got some fields probably to go mow around for a little bit this morning while I'm waiting on Ross to get back here and waiting on it to dry out some. But I mean, as far as what I can tell, I mean, we're pretty well done working on this for today at least. But I did get new poly pieces that go underneath this belt here, but I'm not going to do them until I have to, or I have another problem with it. So because I think I got to split the belt to put them in, and I really don't want to do that, especially whenever it's still put together and working. Head Hunter Classic, only head trailer to get. They have a new one that's Freedom, and it's got the 4-wheel steer with a gooseneck style pull trailer like this. That thing will be sick. So on the back side here, this belt, I just noticed this today. It looks like we're catching somewhere on there again. So we're gonna have to look at that a little closer probably whenever we get off the trailer. pick it up and look at it. Let's say there's something under there it's dragging or catching somewhere. But the top of the belt's not what I ever have a problem with. It's this bottom side that we always have a problem with. But it's interesting, that black piece there, it goes up underneath the belt, holds the belt up, and it's got the thing on top there so nothing will get behind the belt. Never had that apart before until we done this, and we have that panel off, and you can kind of, yeah, I don't know. It's definitely a interesting thing to look at, but this thing's getting wore down. She's about due for some rebuildage. We've put a bunch of the new skid plates on it. We got, looks like 4, 8, probably another 15 skid plates there on this side to put on, and then we'll have pretty well all new skid plates across the whole head, which it's been needing it anyways. Into a stick the other day. First time I've ever done that to one of these panels. So yeah, happens to the best of us, I guess. We're gonna keep plugging away at it though. We almost got it put back together, and then like I said, probably gonna mow, or sure I can work on the ripper or something for a little bit. So anyways, they've been working on this ripper, putting new points on it again, and getting it ready to go, because we got a lot of ripping to do this year again. But this is the tile tractor. This is the one we pulled tile plow with. It's dirty, it was on the disc, so hopefully we'll get it washed before we go to Emmis and start laying tile and get it, yeah, as you can see, it's just covered in dust. It's that like sticky sand dust. It's real funky. But we got a Cat 5 hitch for the tile plow now too, so that'll make it nice just having that instead of having the adapter kit on it. When you got the Lakota adapter kit on it, we found that we kind of tend to bend the hitch pin a little bit, so yeah, we bent one last year. But yeah, this thing will be ripping ground before you know it. Hopefully diesel fuel prices don't go too crazy on us. So we're getting closer to being done. We got about, I don't know, I'd say 400 or 500 acres of soybeans left, or no, 800 acres of soybeans left over in Illinois that we gotta go get. We got 40 acres of double crops down here, so I'm hoping that realistically, if we can keep moving, we might beat corn out of the field, which would be amazing. I don't think I have ever done that before. I don't think we've ever beat corn, because usually corn always comes over and switches over and helps us. But this year, all the beans died off. They matured early. And yeah, so anyways, yeah, that's what we're doing this morning. But so we put this drum in there. I called the guys, the parts guys yesterday, and I said, hey, I need this and this and this, and they sent me a box with just the right amount of stuff, and I didn't even tell them how much to get. But yeah, they got some of these plates, and man, the biggest problem that I had this year was it's been so dusty you can't see out there in front of you. And I've been thinking about trying to get, they have like a rock trap that'll go in front of that belt. I've been thinking about trying to get one of them, because that's what a lot of these are. You get a rock up in there, or stick or something. But that was just a finger broke off, and it went around like that and done that to the drum. I mean, I've never had that happen before. But like I said, I got all these rock dings. Well, that's what I got that thing from Trueline for, to pull them back out. And Trueline also builds a thing that goes on the front there to catch the rocks. You know, like that MacDon, it had a big tray in the front of the center belt. Here, I'll show you. So that MacDon right here, it had a big tray in it. Well, that big tray in it, it would it'd catch the rock right there instead of letting it go onto the belt and fall down into the drum. That was really nice. I will say that was probably one of my favorite things about that head, was it did not have just a straight skid off there. I did finally get to see some pictures of the new John Deere tri-reel thing, and I don't really know what I think of that. We'll see. So they basically took and they kept the same center mass that comes out, and they built a big U-shaped bar. And instead of having, you know, like 15 feet like what you had on the MacDon, you have like 10 feet or something like that, and it just goes out to the sides like that. Now, their thinking of it is they're on top of the hinge point. Well, MacDon's thinking of it is they're after the hinge point. So, you know, MacDon's is like right here, and that Deere one would be right here. So your throat, where your center frame sits, will be the center reel, and then you'll have your two side reels for down here. Now, hopefully that'll fix the problem with your reel getting into the hose things over the top, but we'll see. I don't know. I haven't even seen a price on one yet, so we'll see what they can come up with. I'm sure it'll be expensive, and I'd say that really if we end up buying a new head, we'll just buy a new one that they got sitting on the lot now, because they're trying to move them. So we'll see, but I don't know. Rossi, come here. You want to mess that slide out again?
Can.
Yeah. We've been having problems with our slide here. It doesn't ever want to stay like...
It doesn't want to move.
Yeah, it wants to jam up. So we've been, every once in a while, whenever we get a chance to, we take and put some WD-40 on it. What's that noise, Ross?
I don't know, maybe your truck.
That is loud. So we did get first crops done yesterday. Yeah. Got all of Indiana first crops done, so we just got Illinois to do. We're going down here. We got our last field of double crops to cut. It's right up here on the corner. And then, yeah, we're done in Indiana, and we're off to Illinois. So, oh well, what do you do? We're gonna get, yeah, hopefully get something done today. But neighbor's been picking some corn, it looks like, trying to keep caught up. And yep, got the wheat planted out, got some wheat planted out there in that field. It's coming up, looks nice. Got a pretty good stand so far, so that's all you can say. You got a good stand of wheat, you're 10 steps ahead of the game, you hope. But it is still muddy. I mean, we had 2 inches of rain over the weekend. We've had 45-degree weather. I mean, it's not been the best. It's 45 this morning. We got up to like 65 yesterday, and it'll probably do about the same today, if I had to guess. It was calling for a freeze this morning, and I don't think it ever froze, but I don't think we ever had a frost. So, double crops. Irrigated double crops even on top of that. Yesterday was the best field of double crops I think I've ever cut before. You know, they've done probably 75-ish in the irrigated and 30 in the non-irrigated. Goes to show you how much an irrigation can help. You know, they're definitely worth it. They're expensive, but man, they're worth it. So yeah, get kind of lined up there with the lane where I can back down in the lane and hopefully not run over any beans and not have to move the head wagon. Yep. So we probably won't get to do any cutting until after lunch today, but we have had pretty good wind, so I don't know, we might be able to do something. Well, we're doing it. Drum seems to be doing fine down there. Doing wonderful. So we got her fixed up, fixed all the things that we had wrong, and now we're back cutting. Augie planted this field at a pretty hard angle, so we're running it on the straight track. That was something else that we did too. We went through all of our screens this last year. We put boundaries in them and headlands and everything. So now theoretically in here you should never have to add a field, and you should never have to add in a AB line. So all of our AB lines are preset into the screens now, to where you just basically hit, like on this one we got straight track and angle track. So both of them too is pretty well all that you should ever have to use in most of our equipment, but sometimes I'll still set a quick line, especially cutting beans. You never know what angle you're going to get, or if you get the right angle, or if you get the line set right. So this one seems like it's about where I want it. You know, we're kind of running at, I don't know, probably a 30-degree angle or something like that to the beans. Be good for feeding and everything else. It feeds better when you cut them at an angle, and it cuts better on top of that. So yeah, we'll just have to see what happens. Every field is different. Not all fields are the same, so never know. But we did a lot of that so we could run auto path with like the planters and stuff running around the fields. It makes your inrows so much straighter, so much like more where you want them to be at, because you run around the field with like a gator or a ranger or something like that, and that's how you make that headland and everything. And we done that, and it actually worked out really, really well. Uh-oh, we're blowing a little bit here. Looks like we're gonna get to reverse the drum for the first time. Come on, ease it through there. Don't just kick it out. Alright, that was gonna happen. The second I pull that reel away from it, she's just gonna drop. Nope, guess not. Not today. Well, these big leafy beans and the wheat straw and everything else in these fields makes it really, really hard to cut, because it'll bundle up right there, and then all of a sudden, next thing you know, it's sitting down in there in one big giant chunk. This field is a little wet. We knew that coming into it. That's why I waited on it. And the longer I wait, the better off I'm gonna be. Don't know that I want Ross running down that way anymore, because that's where it gets a little froggy. So, alright, well, I'm gonna put something together for you guys so you guys can watch this at some point tonight. We are yeah, like I said, we're moving forward, cutting double crops. We're almost done. We're getting closer to being done. I'm ready to start tiling. Whenever you fall asleep at night and you see bean rows, it's, you know, starting to get pretty bad. But it'll be all right. We're getting there. Also, my mother and her amazing lunches are hitting the spot again. Got, well, I had a PB&J, but I ate it already. Got some turkey sandwich there. We even got potato soup today, so I'm gonna eat that here directly once I get out of the mud holes. But yeah, so anyways, we're gonna keep chugging along, and yeah, these beans ain't doing near as good as what the other ones was last night, but they're pretty good for double crops still. Can't complain about them. A little bit of trash in the sample. Gonna have to do some work on that.